So, to finish story time, I just want to say what's really interesting is when we have to put ourselves in positions where we're either fighting for our life or fighting for our dreams. And I just want to ask this one question to anybody else. If you've ever had a dream, okay? If you ever had a dream that you worked so hard that you gave up everything, that you lost everything so many times to achieve, that you even had to go to the opposite side of the world to start all over, right? And you did. Not only did you do it, you came from nothing. Not only did people keep trying to fucking take you out, not only did you make 100 pieces, I'm sorry, like 97, something like this, whatever. Anyways, pieces, patterns, you guys. Patterns, cut, sample. And you guys know, Sozo likes Sozo, okay? This machine, these don't exist in Bali, okay? I had to bring this back, okay? I bought this because they were destroying the machines along with a lot of other clothing over at Jillian from Ritual Clothing. Rest in peace, sister. Rest in peace. And, I brought this back to Bali. It was quite a large effort after I spent weeks in the middle of the jungle with nothing to make it happen. Now, many of you guys know that when I first came to Bali, I wanted to see if I could find other people to sew, because everybody's been asking me for so long, can you just reproduce? I've been making one of a kind garments and clothing for over 25 years, okay? For anybody that knows me knows that, okay? And the reality of the situation is I've been doing my damnedest, but when I came to Bali, it's been one thing after another since my first Christmas here, okay, when I was hit and attacked and my stuff was stolen, thing after thing after thing. And I've overcome thing after thing after thing. Now, after the last accident, which was about 2.5 years ago, a little bit more, okay, many of you guys may or may not be aware, okay, I was hit on my motorbike by a truck in the face. They wanted to put 26 plates, 26 plates in my face. My jaw was hanging, my cheek was shattered, my eye, if you can still see how this one is low and this one is high, is still like this, okay? I had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to crawl. I had to have help. I had to have people come to bathe me, okay? Like, it has been what a long, strange trip it has been. But it has been, okay? And the reality of the situation is what Mama Bali had in store for me was to really tap this innate inner healing. Now, when I left America, it was to find these healing sanctuaries and go out on this healing journey. But the people that I connected with were not being very cool to the people that were paying or providing. And I just don't like that. I can't get on board with people being abusive to other people. It doesn't sit well with me. It never has, and it never will. And in the process of all of that scenario, okay, what I learned is that sometimes we're put in positions or in places to learn or to get into better positions or places. And because of that, sometimes we have to break this old pattern recognition. Sometimes we have to figure out how to pattern disrupt. Now, after suffering traumatic brain injury, okay, prior to that, they were already in there they're already taking patterns, they're already taking clothes, already taking things. And I just kept whatever, because my health was the more important thing, right? My safety and my health. Now, I am a huge advocate for getting the fuck out of survival mode, right? Because this is where we stay stuck, is when we're in survival mode. And this is when we can't actually be in our feminine. And just to be completely clear, any man, especially dudes, who want to keep women in survival mode are children. They're not men, okay? Because that's the exact opposite of providing safety and security. Now, you know, you can't really blame somebody. I mean, you can, right? I can take accountability for my choices. But also at the same time, I was like Dory fish for like almost a year and a half to where I couldn't remember what I was saying for 30 seconds or a minute or whatever else. And the reality of the situation is I made the best decision that I thought that I had, that I could at the time. Okay. My friends were begging me to come to help this person. And this person was like, listen, I can help you. Right. And I thought, okay, yeah, for sure. This person is, maybe can help. Right. Maybe they can fucking help. And that was the promise. Right. Promises, promises. You knew you'd never keep. And do, do, do. But anyways, let's not digress. Let's keep moving forward. And because of that, right, we want to believe. And if people want to judge me for wanting to believe that somebody who was actually attempting to make changes and promising me things, like I never experienced that before. I never experienced somebody really wanting to actually show up for me before. So, fuck, call me whatever you want, right? But in the end of the day, I just looked at it like, okay, well, this person is attempting to try. They do want a different life. Maybe they're interested in trying something different. So, you know, am I the bad person because I believed? I believe what somebody else said? I just want to make sure y'all can hear me. Okay. Make sure you guys can hear me. So, is it the person that wants to believe that people can change? Like, okay, I can take accountability for making bad decisions, which is why I asked this person when I realized it was just chaos and problem after problem after problem, and I had already paid the year's rent, which, by the way, I just found out the other day that actually the reason why the landlord is actually mad is because there's actually rent that's been owed since he was here with his last partner, which, by the way, he sent away in a paddy wagon saying that she was fucking crazy and she was in a fucking coma because they were fucking drugging her and trying to send her away. Now, since then, there's been copies of him trying to do the whatever, the power of attorney and this and that. And he's been literally on it, contacting everyone I know, my family, everybody like this, asking for money to admit me into a facility. Now, anybody who actually knows me, have you guys seen me this clear? And I know because when I went to California, I did visit quite a lot of friends and they say, wow, we've never seen you so on point, so good. Maybe that accident did you some good. And yeah, sometimes when you get knocked the fuck out, it can jumble some stuff up, but it can also help with some things, right? So the reality of the situation is, yeah, sometimes people just get knocked the fuck out. And when we have like this, when we have nothing to lose, then it makes it really easy to do whatever, anything, whatever, right? Because you have nothing to lose. So putting people in that situation of survival where they literally have nothing left to lose doesn't put people in a good situation. Now, just to be clear, okay, I've been here. I haven't had power. I haven't had Wi-Fi. I haven't had electricity. I haven't had water. And I am doing my damnedest to get out of here. Do you know how hard it was to organize all these people to come, to get a truck, to do all of this shit? And then when I come back, this asshole sent the landlord to put a fucking lock on, even though he told me I need to be the fuck out today. And it's like, I organized the stuff. I did everything. I've done everything without the capacity, without any help, without any support. This person's been collecting money, getting other people to send money. and then, just putting me in problem after problem after problem. Okay. When you guys saw me down in the video, down there for Christmas, oh yeah, the reason why is because I went to put down payment to move into a place for a year. And then what happened? They're cleaning it for Christmas. We can't get the workers out because it's Christmas, right? And so I said, okay, I have a heart, even though nobody else really did for me. Okay. And then next thing you know, oh, it's not there. Going to be 3 or 4 people that have access. So now what I want to tell you is many people out here that have been working on things that have amazing design abilities. Okay. Rest in peace to my homies, Chef BV. Rest in peace to Norbert. Okay. Rest in peace to Michael Russick. Okay. Because all of us were amazing. And Jillian from Ritual Clothing, all of us were amazing, super skilled. And there's a whole other list of people you guys don't know. But, we're all amazing designers that are about to launch the line, launch the stuff, get it going. And guess what? All of a sudden, there's one problem after another problem. All of a sudden, people are either going nuts and fucking jumping off cliffs or dying of random fucking heart attacks when they're seasoned professionals. So I just want to be completely real with you guys. You can judge me on decisions that I made with traumatic brain injury, or you can look at the fact of what I'm attempting to accomplish, which is get the fuck out of the situation. Now, people that have inadequacies that haven't been filled, people that are angry because they wanted you to need them, okay, this is like covert narcissism 101, they're going to do everything in their power to try to fuck you up, to try to mess up your situation, to try to make you look like you're the fucking crazy one. Well, anybody who knows me knows I may be crazy, but I ain't insane. And psychologically speaking, I'm good, bro. When anybody who has been going to psychologist, psychiatric, whatever, okay? If y'all have been doing that same shit since you were 2 or 3 years old and saw the level of manipulation that exists in the system, I think that you would be having a little bit of a different opinion. So at some point, we have to realize that not all these things that work for everybody or that work for some people work for everybody else, okay? And so because of that, you have to understand, what we can do is learn to pattern disrupt. What we can do is do our best to say, you know what? I fucked up. I didn't make the best decision, but I'm doing my best to move forward and make better decisions, right? And so that's what I've been attempting to do for months, for weeks, for the past 2 years to get myself in a better, safer position. Now, at this point, yeah, I could have just took off and ran, saved myself and my fucking cat. But the reality is these people, they want these machines. They want my intellectual property. They've been stealing all of the designs. You guys, if you are new here, then maybe you didn't see my stuff, okay? But as you can see, if you've been watching, you can see that I have a lot of beautiful things, and that's what they're trying to fuck me out of, right? Because people that steal, that lie, that are pathological liars and stuff like this, they don't have any other options because they don't have any skill, they don't have any talent, and that's what they do, is they fucking attack the people that do. And I want to say, shout out, okay? And I'm gonna fucking say it right now, because my homie, Michael Russick, they were trying to fucking kill him, and he was scared, running for his life. That's why he buried the plot of his land. That's why he started traveling around all of the islands, okay? Because they wanted to not give him credit for the intellectual property. And you know what he said? No, I did this. After 10 fucking projects, he said, no, I did this. And I'm taking credit for my fucking, what I did, for my design work. And guess what? He was running scared for his life because they were trying to off him. And guess what? He's the one that told me to leave this fucking island when I went to the neurologist in Thailand. He's the one that told me to leave this fucking island and go somewhere else. Now, when I went back to America, that was even more of a fucking shit show. But he told me there was this group. They like to take artist stuff. They like to take intellectual properties. They like to do fucking spell work. They like to do crazy shit. Okay? Hello to anybody who's here. I'm not going to type back. I'm just fucking sharing my story. So if you're here to listen, that's great. If you're here to chat, I'm not chatting today. Okay? The reality of the situation is that's what it is, right? The same situation. And as I keep reaching out and expressing this, and as I'm noticing the pattern recognition, you know, as people hit me in the head because I have what's called a cerebral cavernous malformation. Now, story time, okay? The cerebral cavernous malformation is basically, imagine like a blackberry or a boysenberry. It's a bunch of nodes, okay? It was supposed to be capillaries or veins, right? That blood veins, blood vessels. And so what happens is as there's stress, as there's anxiety, or as there's head trauma, major head trauma, what happens is they start to swell. And because the outer layer of the pocket is thin, right? Very thin, what happens is it starts to bleed into the brain, which then the brain starts to short circuit out, causing the body to twitch, or what's called basically aneurystic seizures. Okay? So basically I've been having mild brain aneurysms my entire lifetime, but until I actually got to a proper neurologist, okay, which was in Thailand last year, we didn't know this because I kept saying something's wrong, there's something that's not happening, I'm losing body function, I'm losing motor capabilities, right? Now, fast forward, these people were fucking also poisoning me and doing all kinds of other bullshit that was adding to the zapping of the nervous system, 100%. However, the reality of the situation is what we do is once we learn, right? Once we learn what the problem is, then we can attend to it. But before we don't know, then we can't attend to it. And that's what everybody told me. What do you think you're going to achieve by going over there? What do you think you're going to achieve? You're going to use this as an excuse? And it's like, no, I'm a holistic healer, right? I'm a healer. So in order for me to heal, I have to know what the root of the problem of the cause is so I know how to effectively heal it. Now, that's what I've done, right? And I'm doing great. Thanks for everybody that's been giving me the goodness. But the reality of the situation is like this. The reality of the situation is that sometimes it's not about having a diagnosis or something like this, right? This is where we get lost sometimes in the sauce, because sometimes people are like, oh, well, I'm ADHD, and oh, well, I'm this, and oh, well, I'm that, and I need medication, la, 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 la. But the reality is, do we really need medication? Because the body is very intelligent. This is the most intelligent machine. This is the most high-level intelligence that there is, the body. And so sometimes we need to get upset. Sometimes we need to cry. Sometimes we need to experience different things. Why? Because the body has to send the right signals and the right receptors in order to go and heal it. Now, it can't heal itself if we're blocking it with other types of medications that are blocking receptors from being able to access. Okay? And this is why even healing my foot, growing back my foot, healing my skin, healing everything, this is why even going through the bioresonance, that's no alcohol, no caffeine, no carbonation, no sugar, no drugs, all of this stuff off the table. Okay? So I've been going really fucking hard to heal myself now for nearly 3 years. So if people want to judge me for maybe going to a place where I thought mutual friends could be assisting each other, right? Because he was fucked from his last girlfriend who supposedly went crazy. Seemed like the same story repeating. And didn't have any fucking money and spent all the money on putting her in the hospital and whatever else. Now, I had some money, but I didn't want to spend a lot, and I needed a place to go. My friends kept telling me, this person, he really needs your help. He was really sick. He was really sick. Now, I'm not saying that I was better, and this is the general story of an empath, right? Is they feel that somebody is hurting, they see that somebody is hurting, and what they do is they say, you know what, I can heal that, because that's just naturally empathic, because we can feel someone else's pain. And the situation is, what we can do is literally, what we can do is do our best in each moment, in each situation, right? To make the best decision with what we have. Now, we can sit and go over all of the situations that we did, all of our past mistakes, all of the bullshit, and we can fucking hyper fixate on it, or we can say, I'm doing my best. Like Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 agreements, right? Don't take things personally, right? Always be of your word. Always do your best. Never make assumptions. So, as long as we're following, generally speaking, these 4 agreements, we're going to be okay. So, the reality is people can judge, yeah, you put yourself in the situation. Well, yes, I take accountability for the situation. I take accountability for that. But what I'm not going to do is listen to people tell me I'm insane, because I have a clean bill of fucking health. What I'm not gonna do, I have no mental disorders. It's a neurological condition. And for all you uneducated people that don't know the difference between a neurological condition and a mental disorder is something like maybe like BPD, borderline personality disorder. Don't have it. Maybe it's like bipolar. Don't have it. Maybe it's like multiple personality disorder. Maybe it's like NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. I have none of those. And I have paperwork to fucking prove it. Do you? No. So, you want to call me nuts? Let's go sit in front of a fucking actual doctor and see who's fucking nuts. Because I'll nutcracker that shit out of you, bitch. Straight up. Straight up. Because I could give a fuck less about what a bitch thinks. I tell her that a butt stinks and all that. That's right. Because I am secure in who I am. I speak to my neurologist. I do all of my mental health check-ins. I do all of my doctor shit. Now, what I maybe didn't do, that maybe can seem to make me slightly mentally unstable, is trust an addict. Is trust a junkie. Now, somebody that used to be a junkie that I think after fucking 15 to 20 years can just fucking drop that shit cold turkey and be clean off of it for 20 years, that's just doing a little bit of fun here and there. I think, wow, if anybody actually has the capacity to make the change, it could be this person. So if y'all want to judge me for believing in that, then go for it, right? But nobody, like, judging is not judging is not where it's at. So the reality of the situation is, as you point one finger, there's 4 pointing right back at you. So I'm not concerned with what anybody else is fucking doing. All I'm concerned with is myself, my well-being, my intellectual property, my art, okay? I have like $15,000 to $20,000 of machines, merchandise, intellectual property, patterns, clothing, material. And if people want to judge me for not fucking running away and leaving everything again when I've already done it fucking 20 times in my life, well then, if you don't have something that you're willing to go out fighting for, if you ain't gonna fight for your fucking dream, if you're not gonna fight for your belief system, if you're not gonna fight for your art, for everything that is in your heart that you wanna share with the world, if you can't fucking fight for that, if you fucking fold, then you're a fucking bitch, okay? Then you're a bitch. But if people wanna judge me for fucking fighting to the end to save my intellectual property, my life's fucking work, my life itself? Fuck, bro. Look at all this stuff. This is all of my stuff. Okay? These are my fucking machines. I created this. I own it. I came from fucking nothing, okay? I came from losing everything. I came from the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Hey, fuck you guys. Beaching my boat because they were angry that a woman figured out the life hack, that she was fucking happy. You can't just go around being happy. Yes, I can. I'm a captain. I operate under federal jurisdiction, which means above any law of the land. And that made them upset. Why? Because a woman had higher jurisdiction and higher authority. Now, this is patriarchy's example at their finest, right? The same as these motherfuckers trying to take my shit right now, trying to fucking gang stalk me, trying to fucking hustle me out or do whatever this bullshit is, okay? Trying to say I'm tattling on people and this and that, but you know, the reality of the situation is quite different, okay? I had my shit packed. I was ready to go. This fool came running up here, okay, the other night. Oh, I have a place. I gotta get you out of here and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, laughing, okay? What type of level of insanity do you have to be to go with a bunch of fucking drugs and other shit to the American embassy just to fucking chance it? Like, that's someone that isn't have rational thinking. So you want to talk about who's fucking nuts and who's irrational thinking? That person, okay? That person that is coming over here saying, I got to get you out of here because all these people got fucking turned in for fucking drugs and they're going to come. Why are they going to come? Oh, because my name's on the lease and they might be looking for me. So you fucking shake me out of the house when I'm supposed to be moving already? Like, what the fuck? Like, and you wonder why I wanted a new lease without your fucking name on it. There's a reason. There's a reason. Okay? So now I have my intellectual property and two other artists' property here that I'm attempting to move to a safe space because all we were waiting for was to be able to sign a new lease agreement without his name on it so we could create this art space. Yeah? Now, as many of you know, I have helped create multiple art spaces, multiple places, multiple warehouses, multiple collaborations of artists' space. So this isn't a weird thing. The weird situation is that this person is literally so fucking jealous because they wanted me to be so needy without them that they keep going out of their way to pay people to try to fuck me out of my shit. That is nuts. Like, do you have nothing better to do? Like, you want me to leave, but every time I try to leave, you fucking try to lock me in. Every time I'm ready to go, you try to run me off somewhere else. Every time I try to remove myself, y'all try to swirl me back into the fucking chaos. Now let's talk about this. Let's talk about chaos magic, okay? Now there's all different types of magic that we can tap into. Now when we're tapping into chaos magic, right? What happens is when people, okay, so chaos magic can be really good. We can use it. A lot of artists, especially creative beings, we thrive off of creating from chaos magic. But I know that old narrative is changing, where we don't have to have something traumatic or dramatic or fucking chaotic happen in order for us to create and share and make art, right? We don't need that. But it's the old patriarchy, the old train of thought that does that because they hate. Why? Because art inspires people. Because art is made with heart. Art is made. We are the transmuters. If you are an artist or a healer, okay, you are transmuting this negative, demonic, vampiric, parasitic entities from the collective out through your art. And that's why they always want to knock the artist down. That's why they always want to take their shit. That's why they always want to fucking pull the rug out from under them. Why? Because they're like, oh, well, we can fucking try to destiny swap and they can transmute all of our shit ass karma and our shit ass energy. Well, guess what? No. That ain't fucking happening. Welcome to the new era, KNEW. This is a series of remembrance. And you know what? Me and every other artist on this fucking planet are starting to remember. Women are starting to remember their power doesn't exist by other people's approval. It exists within. As within, so without. So once we realize that it's existing within, and we're never without, it's like the old saying, everything you need is within you. 100, 3,000. Everything you need is within you. So, are you willing to tap it? Are you willing to speak up? Are you willing to fight for what you love? Are you willing to fight for that thing? Are you willing? Because if in the end of the day, or the end of the fucking year, it's the last day of the year where I live, okay? If in the last day of the end of the year, or whatever, I am known as the one who wanted to fight for my life's work, for my art, for my intellectual property, for my fucking life, and y'all want to judge that, then fucking go ahead. Because anybody who speaks my name, anybody who speaks ill will, anybody that has anything backslash times 10. Anybody who speaks ill will on me, cha-ching, that adds to my bank account. Anybody. So, as long as my name is in your mouth, it's fucking feeding me. So think about that, because all y'all out here talking shit, and I don't even know who the fuck you are. Bitches out here calling me Grinch like, you fucking dumb, bitch. You're colorblind. This shit is aqua blue. Aqua blue, not green. So if you're colorblind, you probably can't see a whole bunch of other shit either, can you? No, you probably can't. Because you're stuck in the third density. You're stuck in a fucking judgmental pointing the finger at other people instead of taking accountability and saying, this is what I'm about. Now, if y'all are fucking upset because I know who the fuck I am and I know what I'm about, and that makes you uncomfortable, then that's your fucking problem, not mine. You want to make me uncomfortable in the process? I guess it slightly makes it my problem, but to be honest, no. I come from a family of fucking psychotic narcissists. So y'all think you can fucking say something that hurts my feelings? Bitch, I dare you to spend 10 minutes with my family and you run away fucking crying. Run away crying. And that shit will sit with you for a fucking lifetime. So if any of y'all think you're gonna fucking say something that's gonna offend me, you're not. Can't have hurt feelings if you don't fucking have any, because people fucking tap out. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta figure shit out like this. And you gotta stop worrying about anything that people say, because whatever anybody else's opinion is not your fucking problem, okay? Shout out to Miss Mona, okay, from Santa Catalina Island. Boom, look at that, at 3333. And all the homies out there at Santa Catalina Island, thank you for your support, okay? Thank you for all of your love. Thank you for your constant admiration for the Admiral Station. Miss Mona taught me the most valuable lesson, okay? And the most valuable lesson that I ever learned, and she said, this is gonna be the best thing that you ever learned, right? There's two things. Everything boils down to two things in life. Number one, my problem. Number two, not my fucking problem. And everything boils down to that, right? Either it is my problem or it's not my problem. So other people's insecurities, other people's inadequacies is not my fucking problem. It's not my problem. The only thing that is my problem is myself, my being, and how I choose. Now, if everybody else wants to sit over here and judge because the person that I was with likes to be really fucking high on drugs, that is what it is. But, that's neither here nor there. Just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean you're fucking doing it. It's like that old saying, if your friends are all jumping off the bridge, will you jump off the bridge? And I'm like, it depends. Do we have a parachute? Is there water under? Can I do a backflip? Or is this a reality like jump off the bridge and die? Because like when people decide to make bad decisions, that's their choice. That's free will. That's free agency. We can't control what anybody else does, what anybody else says. That is their free will, their free choice, their free agency. That is their what they do. So if my choice is to do my art, if my choice is to speak my truth, if my choice is to sit here and be a channel, then that's what it is. So let's tap and let's figure out. Let's do some remote viewing, okay? So some things that I was tuning into as a channel is there's definitely some things that are tapped in, some family discomforts, okay? Many people, there may be something tied to grandmothers or grandfathers. What I've been getting a lot of from the ancestors is basically they are looking now to support or to back up the legacy that they have created, okay? Now take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you're new here, welcome. This is Divinity Within Thee, where we take time to get in touch with the divine, okay? So now that my story time is over, let me get to work. So this remote viewing, so what remote viewing is if you guys aren't really aware, it's tapping into things that I can see or hear that are strong within the collective. Now, sometimes I use cards, but since all of my stuff is packed up, I don't really need to use cards. It's more of a visual ante for you people that are really, for the few people that find themselves positioned or stuck in the 3D. If you're stuck in the third density, then yes, it can be rather heavy and you don't really believe in fucking magic or elemental spirits or speaking to ancestors or angels or the divine. But if you do, which a lot of my people here do, then you will understand. So with the remote viewing, now there is something something very large going on about about legacy, about the ancestors really wanting to secure their legacy. So and you know the interesting thing is I had a ride from this interesting Indonesian guy like just a few days ago, and he came up and he was like, oh, you speak to the ancestors and da 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 da, and he starts asking me, and I was like, he said, oh, you know, somebody stole the family property, they stole the inheritance, da 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 da, and he was like, and I feel like I'm trying to get a hold, I'm trying to get a hold of my grandmother, and I keep praying to God, and can you give me a suggestion? And I said, yeah, you can pray and ask to speak to your angels and your ancestors, right? It's like they kind of have to get a hall pass. So I want to share this information because he found it very helpful. And he was like, wow, he totally connected. He totally connected and got all of the answers. And so you can pray, like as I always say, dear universe, source creator, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, right? Ascended masters, Galactic Federation of Light, all of the beings of high vibrational frequency of love and light that mean for the highest possible timeline, the highest vibrational frequency and outcome for all involved. We thank thee for your guidance, for your permission, for your protection, for your clear, concise, and precise messages. We thank thee. So now, when we put this out, right, when we put this prayer out, we are connecting farther to source. We're connecting to things that are outside of our physical realm of existence, what we are not normally able to see. Now, it may be hard for a lot of people to believe or to understand or to comprehend that ever since I was very small, I've been having, I see dead people, I talk to dead people, and this is what happens. And, you know, just because it's something out of your scope of understanding, like, don't be, you know, there's a lot of things, and this is where a lot of the problems exist in the world, is people's lack of understanding, people's lack of education. And so people get scared and people get afraid and people attack or hurt or create wars or separation or whatever because their lack of understanding where someone else is coming from. Now, is it our job to understand where everybody else is coming from? No, but if you want to be an educated individual, then you're going to do that. You're going to figure out how to understand on a better level. So also in the remote viewing, I have been picking up on some type of OD. So you guys, whoever is going out to party, okay, make sure you're watching your drinks. Make sure you're checking your intake of if you're doing substances or anything like that. Make sure you're watching, because I am seeing a lot of or feeling some of this accidents, car or bike accidents, ODs, some things like this. Also, what's happening in remote viewing, a lot of people are shifting, as this isn't actually the new year, it's a Gregorian calendar new year. I really celebrate the astrological new year and the Chinese new year, something like this. But for people that, as we're celebrating and we're moving in from the fiscal year of 2025 to 2026, I would suggest and recommend that people are wary of or are aware of their intake of things, okay? I have also sensed something with a mother and a child. Now remember, you're gonna know if it resonates for you if you're connected. For some of you, there can be a very, I don't know if the mother is going to pass or something like this, but I am sensing something very heavy. So I send my love and my heart to people that may have lost people or that may be potentially losing people, okay? And I want you guys to understand that energy never dies, okay? So we are souls in this meat suit, right? We're a spiritual being or a soul, you know, an energetic being having a human experience. So we're just, this is our spaceship. This is our meat suit or whatever. And so anyways, with knowing that, know that as people do pass, that especially at this time, okay, because we have these chosen, these 144,000 chosen that are here, there is a few ways that people are actually passing. Now, some of them, that it is their soul contract, that is when they sign to exit, okay? We all sign to enter to different places, to different families and different things, and we all sign to exit certain ways, right? And that's why it's funny, because these people keep trying to kill me in motorbike accidents, but I'm already like, nah, I already went out like that in another life. I don't go out like that. Imagine if you already, all these ways that they keep trying to kill you, and you already know you can tap into past life regression, and you know that you've already died all these ways, so you know that you're not going to go out that way. Imagine that. So anyways, the reality of the situation is there is somebody, so I've been tapping into pregnancies. Some of them are exciting, congratulations. Some of them are unwanted. Some people are trying to trap people through pregnancies. So make sure that you guys, again, get anything tested, okay? Make sure that you test if you're actually the paternal parent. Also, if somebody is saying that maybe they are pregnant and whatever, take them to get the test. Take them to get the test. Now, I am also picking up on different sexually transmitted diseases or infections. So you guys, again, as it is New Year's and everybody's going to be having a good time, make sure you use your protection. Make sure you call your angels and your ancestors to keep the protection around you, but also make sure you actually use protection, okay? Don't be like my ex, out fucking prostitutes without condoms. Like, that's going to lose you. That's going to lose you, your girl, your life, and maybe your cleanliness. And unless you're dirty, then whatever, don't go spreading shit around also, especially your legs if you got shit, okay? What else am I picking up on? Some type of intense weather or something like this. There may be flooding. Okay, for some of you guys, there may be flooding. I'm sensing also some type of volcanic activity or eruption Also, some type of water. So with the water, I'm not sure, like water levels rising, or maybe if you live by a river or a lake, something coming up. So if you're near any of those places and this sounds a little bit familiar, make sure you move things to be in safe locations. Also, with some type of jolting of the earth or the earthquake, something like this, there can be some type of waves or tsunamis or something like this. So if you are living or near any locations like that, make sure you know where your safe place or your safe exit. Now, I'm also seeing a lot of power surges and yeah, just some interesting deaths. So what I can say is, for some people, they have signed to exit. For other people, they may be being murdered because it's not really everybody's exit time. And there's a lot of these vampiric parasitic entities that are trying to hop light beings' bodies. And so that's pretty much why I had to separate from my ex, because he likes to stay so fucking high all the time that there's consistently these parasitic entities jumping the body because they're trying to come in and enter mine and attack mine. And so, yeah, all the stress, all the bullshit, all the poisoning, all of this has been a lot for me. And just having the hyper survival, the hypersensitivity, the hyper stress can be super taxing for your nervous system. Now, a lot of people, and especially women, were more hypersensitive to nervous system fluctuation. And now, of course, there is hormonal things, yes, but this is a lot of where there is large amounts of weight gain or weight loss because there is dysregulation. So make sure you guys mind your regulation. If something doesn't feel good, if someone doesn't feel good, if something doesn't feel good, listen to your intuition, okay? This is the biggest message from the ancestors, from the angels, from the ascended masters, is make sure you're listening to your intuition. Okay? For some of you guys, if you are women, okay, make sure that you have somebody that you're going out with that you trust, okay? Because I am seeing, and I don't like to talk about negative things. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Now, this is remote viewing. So these are large things that are happening in the collective that they're asking me to share the message. So there is some people that are attempting, and I'm going to say attempting so I don't put out a bad spell, that are attempting to pick up people for raping or sex trafficking or something like this. So make sure you're not really, again, make sure you're watching your drink, make sure you're watching yourself, okay? And for other people that are out and about, that you see other women or things like this that maybe are looking a little too whatever, you know, make sure you test your intuition and make sure if they're safe. Be a better human. Okay? Be a protective human. Don't be an attacking human. Okay? Be a protective human and make sure, because there is a lot of weird shit that can actually happen. And as we're moving into this new era, right? It's about really tapping in to what we know, tapping in to the collective. And the collective conscious may know or see or be aware of certain things. Like sometimes I go places and I'm like, wow, this, you know, and I check, are you okay? You know, just like the other day I was at the beach and this guy was super drunk, like all over this girl, this woman, and you know, I said something to him in Indonesian, and then his friends came and started yelling, and she was like, what did you say? What did they say? And I was just like, he was really wasted, you know, he was saying really inappropriate things to you. And luckily, when I said something to him, you know, his friends saw him with this chick, or like all over this woman, and you know, they said, all right, you want to stay here and fuck that one, have a good time, but we're leaving, you know. And so just me saying something to him made him turn and have this cognitive awareness that those were his friends, and then that obviously he was so fucking wasted that he needed to go with his friends. But had he not, if he was still in this, you know, because what happens is he's very, just like a parasite, grabs onto its host, or a leech, it grabs onto its host and it starts sucking it dry. Okay? And that's what the same things, that's what these uninspired, uncreative, unartistic people do. They're like leeches. They're like parasitic, vampiric entities. And that's what they do, is they suck everything else wherever they can. So just be aware, don't hyperfixate, okay? And you know, give yourself the patience, the time, and the kindness to understand that, you know, nobody's perfect and we're all doing our best, right? We're all just different reflections of each other. We're all just, you know, source creation experiencing itself on an individual level, even though we're all connected. I am he as you are me, and we're all together. So do your best to not judge. And, you know, that's why I did my best to not judge. I do my best to always do my best, but to always give people the benefit of the doubt. Now, what I will realize is this year, 2025, the year of the snake, was all about shedding old skin, shedding old identities, pattern recognition, letting go of the dead, right? What needs to go away, and kind of just letting that fall to the side. So the whole idea is that we're all doing our best, that we're all figuring out what our purpose, what our passion, what our path is. And it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. Like, I don't even know what y'all are saying here because I'm far away. But the reality of the situation is, I don't really care. I don't really care anybody's fucking opinions or anything else. All it has to do is make sense to me. This isn't a fucking group project, you know? This is a personal journey, not a group project. And I choose to share mine here because I have this beautiful channel with a lot of subscribers that are really vibe with me. Now, there also is obviously a bunch of fucking dumb ones that are just stalking because they have nothing better to do. But in the end of the day, you're over here still giving me the energy. Whether you're talking shit or judging, you're still giving the energy, and I don't know who the fuck you are. And I honestly don't care. Yeah? So anyways, I wish you guys all the best. Today, I am celebrating my awesome grandfather. It is his birthday, okay? He always loved that his birthday was on New Year's because sometimes he could pretend to be a year older or a year younger. It's actually how he got in the military early, is by saying that his birthday was a year sooner. And it's how he got himself out of a very poor, hard situation. And so for some of us, we are going to consistently thrive no matter what the circumstance or no matter what the situation is at hand. And that's a choice. That's a physical choice to either become subservient to our fears and the patriarchal sense of, or to say, you know what? I beat that. And I've stepped past that ancestral trauma and that ancestral karma. And I'm now past that. And to all of the beautiful creators out there, whether they're artists or content creators or they play whatever, it doesn't matter. Keep being you, keep doing you. I'm proud of you. Keep pushing forward. You got this. I love you, and you're doing great. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for hearing me, seeing me, and listening to my story. And yeah, you know, if people want to judge people for mistakes of their past, okay, that's a choice. But when people are consistently working towards becoming better and healing and making a new life for themselves, stop to fucking judge, you know? Like, when people keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result or outcome, this is the definition of insanity, you know? So it's like, if someone can't even do a week fucking sober, that's a choice. That's a choice. You choose. You've chosen to be an addict. You've chosen to allow a substance, a thing, a person to control you. And only you can choose to get yourself out. And so I thank you for everybody that has been supportive, and me making my new choices and my exit from old past patterns and life and all of this stuff. And yeah, sometimes you have to get knocked the fuck out in order to really level up. But, you know, it is what it is, right? And it ain't what it ain't. And so, anyways, I can see clearly now the rain has gone. And I want to give a shout out to all of my fellow tarot readers and all of my fellow spiritualists and channelers that have been supporting me in solidarity, for dressing up as the Grinch, for shouting out, for channeling the stories and the messages, for still giving the messages even though people are hating. Yeah, go check yourself out, everybody. Go check out YouTube. You'll see I ain't the only one saying these things. You'll see it's an entire collective of people, the chosen, the 144,000 chosen light beings, the indigos, the light warriors, the rainbow, the crystal children. We are here to pave the path. We are protected. And you can't fuck with the chosen ones. You can try. You can literally try. Like I said, chaos magic can be a really great thing. You can really tap in. Mostly artists use it. The extremities of the chaos to create more art. But that's why these fuckers want to create the chaos when all of the art is packed up and ready to be moved away. So it doesn't transmute, so you take on their energy. So don't take on these other people's energy. Don't entertain the bullshit, because that is what feeds them. They're parasites. They're leeches. Because they ain't got nothing else than to fucking suck. So don't you suck. Unless it's in a pleasurable way, then I guess enjoy your day or your night or your date or whatever it is. But yeah, for every action, there is an equal, opposite, or sometimes more powerful reaction. And when we realize that there is a lot of universal laws that come into play, well, one of them, to all my haters, if I got haters, then I'm doing something right. What you doing? Who you got? Who you got? You ain't got nobody, bitch. So anyways, fuck you to all the fake people. Fuck you to the fake love. Fuck you to the fake friends. Like, straight up to my face. Straight up to my face. No. And shout out. I've been hearing this song all week, you guys. This is an old Wilson Phillips song. So to people that want to understand, the song goes, I know the fairest way. If you hold on for one more day, you can break free from the chains. Someday somebody's gonna make you wanna turn around and say goodbye. Till then, hold fast. Might turn around and make you cry. Don't you know you could change? Things can go your way. You can hold on for one more day. Things will go your way. Hold on for one more day. Know that a lot can happen in 24 hours. And if you retain a positive mental attitude, you'd be surprised. For other people, I don't know how good your stuff is gonna be lasting in the rain. You wanna try to lock me in, lock me out, try to block me in, block me out? How about help me out? Me out. Meow. Meow. So anyways, you guys, smoochy boochies, and for everybody doing their work and all of that, I send you the most amazing amount of love and light. I send you the happiest of New Year's, and make sure you look out. Make sure you're doing your best to be a good human. Good humans don't attack other humans. Good humans help other humans, and they don't make excuses. So, to all of my helpers, thank you. I love you. What an amazing year. And it's like that, what's that? That show Bewitched. So you'll notice a lot people that channel maybe like have itchy noses or ears, or sometimes like scratchy on their face or their head. This is a lot of channeled energy. So anyways, guys, I wish you all the best, and I know that everything is gonna be all right. Woke up this morning, smiled at the rising sun. 3 little birds stood by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true. Singing, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about nothing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I said you don't worry about nothing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Let's give it up. Soon. Witness protection. Let's go. Smoochy boochies. Love you. Proud of you. You got this. Ciao for meow. Zoe out.